You didn't sign up for this fight, but the moment you bought your phone, you stepped straight into your tech war. Apple pulls you with status. Samsung pushes you with power. And every upgrade, ad, and feature battle is designed to keep you locked inside a system you never realized you were funding. Because in this war, the companies aren't fighting each other. They're fighting for you. And once you see the system behind their rivalry, you'll never look at your phone the same way again. You already know these two companies dominate the smartphone market. But what almost nobody sees is how they turned a simple rectangle of glass and metal into one of the most profitable psychological systems in human history. Apple doesn't just sell hardware, it sells belonging. It sells the quiet feeling that if you don't upgrade, you're slipping behind everyone around you. Your friends move on, your group chats evolve, the world updates. And you're stuck holding last year's identity in your hand. Samsung doesn't just sell specs, it sells capability. It whispers, why limit yourself when you could have more? More power, more screen, more features, more freedom. It doesn't trap you, it tempts you. And temptation is just another form of control. And while millions think they're choosing the better phone, both companies are quietly pushing you into a psychological loop built on fear of missing out, social pressure, and the illusion of progress. Every year, the fight escalates. Brighter displays, smarter cameras, faster processors. But the true battle isn't happening in the hardware. It's happening in your mind. Because this war isn't about chips or megapixels. It's about control. Who controls your loyalty? Who controls your habits? Who controls the digital world your identity now depends on? This isn't a simple tech rivalry. It's a decades-long Cold War built on psychology, profit, and power. And you've been inside it from the moment you picked your first phone. But the real trap wasn't the rivalry, it was the system built around it. To understand how this Cold War really works, you have to see the structure beneath it. Apple didn't become powerful by building better phones. It became powerful by building a closed world where every part of your digital life depends on staying inside its ecosystem. Messages, photos, cloud storage, AirPods, iCloud, Apple Pay, every feature is designed to make leaving feel painful, inconvenient, or socially awkward. And here's where the psychology hits you. You don't fear losing the phone. You fear losing the connections that live inside it. That's Apple's true weapon. Samsung saw this and went the opposite direction. Instead of building a cage, it built an open stage. Flexibility, customization, choice. It tells you you're not trapped, you're in control. But that feeling of freedom is its own system of lock-in. Because once you build your life on Samsung's ecosystem of devices, apps, and features, switching back feels like you're giving up power. The truth is uncomfortable. Neither side is helping you. They're shaping you. Your habits, your identity, your sense of progress, all engineered through design decisions that look harmless but influence your behavior more than you realize. Every notification, every feature release, every update cycle is crafted to pull an emotional lever inside you. Fear of missing out, desire for status, need for control, need for belonging. And the moment those emotional levers activate, the war shifts from your phone to your mind. If all of this feels overwhelming, that's the point. You were never meant to see the system at this level. Apple and Samsung built it so you would feel the emotions, not the structure behind them. And here's where the war gets darker. Both companies realized something powerful. people don't upgrade because of features. They upgrade because of fear. Fear of being left behind. Fear of looking outdated. Fear of losing social signals that quietly shape how others see you. Apple weaponized this first. The blue text bubbles, the seamless syncing, the status-driven design language. Each one hits a part of the brain wired for belonging. If belonging is the prize, leaving the ecosystem feels like exile. Samsung's play is subtler, but just as psychological. It offers abundance instead of exclusivity. Bigger screens, higher refresh rates, experimental features. It tells you, look what you could have if you just step out of Apple's world. This taps into a different emotion, envy, the feeling that someone else is experiencing more freedom, more power, more capability than you. And this is where most people get trapped. You start believing you're making rational choices, but really, you're responding to emotional triggers engineered by billion-dollar product teams. Apple uses status. Samsung uses capability. Both use identity. And you've been pushed, pulled, and shaped by these emotional levers for years, without ever noticing the hands that placed them. But the moment you see the real turning point, you'll understand why this war was never about tech. It was about control. Every empire has a moment where its real intentions stop being a secret. For Apple and Samsung, that moment arrived when both companies quietly shifted their billion-dollar strategy away from selling phones and toward controlling your lifetime value. This was the real turning point. The moment the hardware Cold War stopped being about devices and started being about owning your behavior. Apple made the opening move. When subscription services began generating more consistent revenue than new iPhones, Apple discovered something powerful. You don't need a customer to upgrade every year if you can make them depend on you every day. iCloud stores your life. Apple Music shapes your taste. Apple TV Plus shapes your entertainment. Apple Pay handles your money. Fitness Plus handles your health. Your phone stopped being a tool. It became a portal into a subscription-powered ecosystem that wraps around your daily life like invisible gravity. Samsung watched this shift and responded with a different kind of power play. Instead of controlling your habits, Samsung wanted to control your environment. Not your apps, your home. Your fridge, your TV, your washer, your dryer, your air purifier, your watch, your earbuds, all connected in a constellation of smart devices that quietly pull you into Samsung's orbit. The result? You don't just live with Samsung, you live inside Samsung. And once your entire home is synced to one ecosystem, leaving isn't just inconvenient, it feels impossible. This is where most people misunderstand the Cold War. They think Apple and Samsung are competing for the best camera or the fastest chip. But the real war is for something far more valuable: ecosystem dominance, the right to shape your future decisions without you noticing. Here's the truth people wake up to too late. You don't upgrade because your phone is slow. You upgrade because the system makes you feel like you don't have a choice. You don't stay with a brand because it's perfect. You stay because leaving feels like ripping out a part of your digital identity. And you don't fall for marketing. You fall for the carefully engineered psychological loop beneath it. This is the turning point. Your phone isn't competing with another phone. Your ecosystem is competing for your future. And once you see the lessons hidden in that competition, you'll realize this war has been teaching you something far bigger than technology. Once you understand how these empires operate, something shifts inside you. You stop seeing phones as objects, and you start seeing them as strategies. And that shift reveals 3 lessons that go far beyond technology. Lesson 1: systems shape behavior more than products do. Apple and Samsung don't win because they build better hardware. They win because they build environments that influence your emotions, your habits, and your identity. When you understand the system, you stop reacting to it. Lesson 2. Convenience is the most profitable trap in the world. The reason you stay locked in is not because you lack options. It's because the system makes switching feel like punishment. The more convenient something becomes, the harder it is to walk away. Lesson 3. You cannot win a war you don't realize you're in. Once you see the emotional levers, belonging, envy, capability, status, you can step back and make decisions with clarity instead of fear. You choose the device, the ecosystem, the habit, instead of letting it choose you. And that clarity doesn't just help with phones. It helps with money, relationships, careers, and every system that quietly shapes your choices. Because once you see how this Cold War affects the future, the real impact becomes impossible to ignore. Today, this war is accelerating faster than ever, and now it's expanding into every corner of your life. Artificial intelligence, subscription platforms, smart homes, digital identity, augmented reality. Everything around you is becoming part of the same silent race for control. Your phone is no longer just a device you upgrade. It's the master key that unlocks your digital identity, tracks what you value, predicts what you'll want, and guides how you interact with the world around you. Apple wants that key centralized. One ecosystem, one identity, one seamless experience where your entire digital life flows through a single point of control. Samsung wants that key distributed. A world where your home, your appliances, your screens, your devices, your routines all become part of a flexible, ever-expanding network. Not one device, but an entire environment. And this is where the war enters its next phase. Your choices stop being about hardware and become about who gets to shape your daily decisions, the platform in your pocket, or the environment around you. But once you understand the psychological systems behind these companies, a shift happens. You stop being controlled by them. You start using them intentionally, on your terms, not theirs. And that takes us to the final truth, the part this war never wanted you to understand. If you've stayed this long, you already see the pattern the world tries to hide. This war was never about phones. It was about power, psychology, and the systems shaping your future. And now that you see the architecture behind it, you're ahead of most people who still think this is just a tech rivalry. Every week, we uncover the hidden rules behind the world's biggest empires. The systems that control money, influence, and identity. So if you want clarity instead of confusion, and power instead of pressure, subscribe, because the next episode reveals the next rule shaping your world.